What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. The book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled, Do Black Men Have a Voice in the Black Community? I was thinking about doing this as a live stream, but what I noticed for years is, and even on social media, and even in the media, there's this thing about blaming black men are the scapegoats of all the ills of our community. And when I talk about men, I mean the actual men. I mean the actual smart guys, the actual providers, the actual protectors, the actual guy, the guys who really, in my opinion, I can lay the case that don't have a voice in our community. But these same guys are blamed for everything wrong with the community. And what I mean by that is this. So I'm asking the question, do black men actually have a voice in the black community? Because when it comes to the raising of our children to make sure the next generation comes up, you have these kids don't have fathers, right? But it's at the same time, and you know what? Let me back up. I'm not gonna go there just yet. First and foremost, one of the reasons is it's our fault that we don't have a voice in our community, because at this point we should understand as black men we need to impose our will on our community, because our community doesn't want us in it, and it doesn't want our input. They just want us to be blamed. But if we're gonna be blamed for everything, then we might as well impose our will on the community and make our voices be heard. All this being nice and trying to be cordial and actually just trying to work with the community peacefully and lead through teamwork obviously doesn't work, because this is not what the community wants. So we have to be more aggressive, in my opinion, because if we want to be heard, we just gonna have to, we're gonna have to be the loudest voice. And we're gonna have to be arrogant. We're gonna have to be boisterous. We're gonna have to let people know everything we've done when we do it, and put it in your face. Because being classy and letting people live with the things that we've done, and us walking away and rebuilding obviously isn't working. And we're empowering other people to disrespect us, basically. That's one of the reasons we don't have a voice in the community. Now, the other thing, when it comes to the children are taught to not listen to men. They listen, but that's the irony. You see, first and foremost, the profile of a man is real murky in our community, because a man is who you want to come fix everything 1 minute. Black men or would destroy the community another minute. And you're like, well, how is that the same exact person? It's not. What it is the criminal is considered a man when it's convenient. The molester is considered a man when it's convenient. How would I call that? The domestic abuser is considered a man when it's convenient. You know what I mean? The Rolling Stone is considered a man when it's convenient. The homosexual man is considered a man when it's convenient. And then when the men show up, who are none of those things and who are productive and functional men in society, instead of then they become the personification of all the guys that aren't men to men. And what I mean by that is this. If you, when a man shows up, say, look, okay, you need me to do this, I'm going to do this. No, I can't trust you to do this, because what if you come over here and then drag me off in the woods and then beat me to death and then chop the body up and then burn it and then blah, 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 blah. And you're like, how the hell you go from fixing a light bulb to chopping your body up and throwing you in the woods? Like, why? Because the men in the community, are once they're there, they're looked at as all of the people that they frequently hang out with in the community that are degenerate. But it's the reverse. But they'll hang out with the criminals, with the molesters, with the woman beaters, with the homosexuals, and excuse all the behavior. Oh, he's just that's just who he is. We gonna pray for him. He's going through a lot of things. Then all of the qualities of the actual men in the community who are actually good guys. Oh, he gonna get it together. He gonna be just like that person. But when that person shows up, now that person's just like the other person. Like, it's ridiculous. So men don't have a voice in the community, because the profiles it's profile swapping. But getting back to the kids. You're teaching these kids not to respect men. So what these men have to say to these kids, they don't listen to. And when these men teach these little kids skills to be better in life, they don't want to hear it. And then they go off into the world, because they don't, since mama don't need a man and I don't need a man, and then they're behind, because black men don't have a voice in the community. And then these kids are young adults trying to run to the men that they were taught to ignore for information. And then we have this thing where black people don't share information. Yeah, we don't. But it's not like we didn't try to share the information. It's not like it became where you have to fight to give people information. And at their most impressionable stages, where they need to know the most. Now you got to grab a kid and tie him to a chair with duct tape. Nah, I'm going to tell you how you... No, open your ears. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to make your life successful. No, they told me not to listen to you because you're a man. Like, okay. But people don't want to talk about that. When it comes to the women, same thing. We don't have a voice in the community. We tell y'all beautiful, y'all don't want to hear it. We tell y'all where y'all, just wear your real hair, y'all don't want to hear it. We tell y'all, oh, if you set up businesses, then blah blah blah. If we set up businesses, you ain't gonna come because you don't, because the white man's ice is colder. So even if we put our voice, even if we bring our voices to the community as far as economically and business wise, who's the number? You're ignoring it. You don't want to be heard. And then what happens? Remember that business? Where did the business go? Where did the men go? Where did this go? Where did that go? When the guys tell you don't date him, that's not a good look. You can't tell me what to do. You don't know what you're talking about. You not a real man. He a real man. And then that real man that you said was a real man does you absolutely dirty. And then no, where the real man at? You don't listen. Like, the one thing about me saying black men don't have a voice in the community is, in the black community, is this. Nobody in our community can't say they weren't warned. Nobody in our community can't say black men didn't either show them or lead the way. What you can say is you didn't want to listen, and then you got your ass kicked by life. And instead of taking that L because you purposely didn't want to listen, you want to blame black men. Because black men don't have a voice in the community. To the point where you see it play out on television, it's so bad. Who's the voice of black men on television? Because yeah, everybody wants to speak. Uh, Gay black men want to speak for black men. I'm like, you ain't speaking for us. Um, Women want to speak for black men. You're not speaking for us. Gay women want to speak for us. Lesbians want to speak for us. You're not speaking for us. To the point where y'all have invited other people of other groups and other genders and other groups to speak for us, and we like, you're not speaking for us. No, I don't. We don't want to hear that shit. And what's worse about it is we're the ones on the front lines. We're the canaries in the mine. We're the ones telling y'all what's going on. We're the ones showing y'all how to combat it. And it's not really that you're ignoring us completely. You hear us, ignore us, and then go through hell, and then turn right around 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years later, and use our very same talking points that you said that you ignored. That's why I said you can't say that we haven't told you what was going on, or showed you what was going on, or showed you how to combat what was going on. You wanted the glory, I guess. And all the ills that are going on in the black community, we've already told you and showed you how to get rid of them. But you don't want us to do it. People forget about the Detroit 300. You know how far along Detroit would have been by now if people didn't squash that? Stuff like that, I could do this all day. But, let me backtrack real quick. When us black men talk about something, what do y'all tell us? Shut up. Be quiet. You gonna mess this up forever. They even got black people who are not from America coming here telling us to be quiet. Then turning around and using our very same talking points as if because they fall in line. You got groups of other people who we say, this is what's going on. You black people don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And then they turn right around. We should have a coalition, brother. Because we don't have a voice in our own community, people feel like, and people are following everybody else's selective ignorance. They think brothers need to just come and save the day when it's all said and done. And now people are getting mad because black men are like, go out there and fight it yourself. Since you don't listen, since we don't have a voice, and we know y'all don't listen to us, initially, we won't. Because think about it, in your own family, black men don't really speak that much. And we're not gonna even, as the older you get, we're not even gonna add our opinion, because you're like, you don't want to hear it. I talked to you for 10, 20 years. You didn't want to hear it. People got to hit rock bottom to hear us. And then when we tell them and show them how to get out of rock bottom and get back on their feet, what do they turn around and do? They throw you the finger. F you until I hit rock bottom again. Okay. And because of this, our community is suffering. Our children are suffering. Our women are suffering. Our relationships are suffering. Our business is suffering. But at the end of the day, you don't want to admit that everything that can fix our community, we've already told you. We've already showed you. See, as much as we say, our women don't have a voice, our men don't have a voice, and our little boys don't have a voice, and our little girls don't have a voice. Because once you wanted to ignore the men, the real men, you got the floodgates open for all the people that you shouldn't be around, because you didn't want protection from the men. You wanted protection from you wanted the criminals to protect you. You wanted the molesters to protect you. You wanted the opportunists to protect you and provide for you. You wanted just the community, not just the women. You know what I'm saying that. You wanted the homosexuals to protect and provide for you. And we was like, that's not gonna work. And now that we see over all these years it's not working, and all the reasons why, and even when people like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said as a woman, and Shahrazad Ali said as a woman, you ignore them too. And then you look up 20, 30 years later, what happened? Why did nobody tell us? You lie. You hear people on YouTube say this. I say this one thing, y'all flip out. Think about it. Isaiah Washington said, we have to change tactics. People flipped out on Isaiah Washington about, what are you trying to, if I want to buy a Bentley, I should be able to buy a Bentley. And now what are people saying? We need to change the way we do things. What? What? Oh, now you think you heard that somewhere before? Brothers have been saying for years, hey, we need to, clean up the community. We need to bring these families back together, or have good working relationships. We don't need that. We don't need that. I could do bad all by myself. Who said you was gonna do bad? And then what do these people come back around? We need y'all to come back and make these families whole again, and sprinkle your greatness on it again, so we can bounce back. Didn't we already say that 10 years ago? And you've been fighting this for 10 years, and it's the problem. Because we don't have a voice. In some ways, we voice our voice, but since y'all don't want to listen, we don't have a voice. But then, when you're ready to listen, you just want us to just snap back and come back like nothing ever happened. And the problem with that is this. You can't fight with somebody who's been working for your benefit for day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and then when they say, man, I'm done with all this fight. Oh, you know what? I'm ready now. I'm gonna just do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. We gonna do it together. No, because you're a traitor at that particular point. You've already laid your history out that you're gonna always be treacherous. And what happens is, guys have even been through the stage where we come back and you do it again. And then we come back and you do it again. And we come back and you do it again. And this is a community at whole. So, I can make that. This is the argument I'm making. And answer it then. Do black men have a voice in the black community? Peace.